I wasn't born then.
Oh my goodness gracious! I got a duo in here this
Back
morning.
in 29.
I have no clue. They don't know what they're talking about. Happy Hump Day. One hump or two. That's up to you. Not nearly as chilly as it's been for the past 2 mornings. Sorta. Not always the best news though. We do need some warm, humid days with chances of showers.
Yes.
And then we need the rain. Great for the
Yes.
gardens and for those who will be gardening on the 2nd of May. A warm rain will be much better than chilly temperatures. May 2nd, for y'all who don't know. In addition to Jones Onslow Eats Day, World Naked Gardening Day is an annual international event. According to NBC Today, WNGD has become an annual tradition that celebrates weeding, planting flowers, and trimming hedges in the buff. While it's linked to a movement of nudists who promote wholesome and unabashed acceptance of the human body, the day is meant to be funny, lighthearted, and non-political. From that description, I assume, ignoring possible tattoos, there's no way to know whether a naked gardener has any particular affiliation. Leave your worries and your clothes behind. You all look alike, sort of. Good morning. And you may thank me for that bit of interesting information if you like. Tune in on May 2nd. Our show will be done in the buff, both of us. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is Live, Naked, and Local Real Talk.
We're always naked underneath our clothes anyway. Don't worry,
Good morning, I'm Lee Barrows, and I guess it's one way to get rid of the moles in your yard. Huh?
Is that the
Scare
best
'em
you
out.
can come up? Good morning, I'm Lee Barrows.
Well,
After
I'm
all
just-
of that lead up, and
I'm
you
just
come
like,
good
what?
morning, I'm Lee Barrows.
Well,
Well,
I never know what you're going to come up with.
that's good.
Yes.
Neither do I.
That's it. When you get, I
Yeah.
found out when you get after you get age 65, nobody really cares.
What was that? Live and local and naked?
Live, naked, and local.
Live, naked, and local.
I
Yeah,
kind of like that.
it was good.
It was
I
good.
did too.
It was good. I was just like, what?
Live, naked, and local real talk.
Okay.
I got the other flag over there, by the way.
Yes,
And
I
got
saw
other
that. Thank
stuff.
you.
I'm gathering.
I talked to Robbie last night.
You talked to who?
Robbie.
Uh-oh. What'd she
I
tell
called her and we discussed what we were going to do.
you?
And
Oh.
so we're good to go.
Well,
It's for John Slow Eats.
eats.
May
Second.
2nd.
So after you finish gardening that day, put some clothes on, put some clothes on and come out to the skills center.
Well, I don't know, Rayford. You might win this year if you go out there in your gardening outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, he won.
Nothing but an apron.
He won when he streaked through the garden club meeting.
Yeah.
He got first place.
You did? You
He
street.
did. He did.
I'm just going to sit over here and just try to be
Shortest
quiet.
shortest worm I dap.
No. Dry arrangement.
You started this.
Oh, my
Got to
God.
start something.
You started
It was a
this.
sausage.
Yeah.
That's a really tasteful
I
thing.
had
But I'm gonna
to
tell you what I've found. Have you ever
Crap.
reloaded bullets?
I
Yeah,
have.
my
Have
younger
you
days.
reloaded bullets?
Yes.
Have you ever gone along and think, oh God, you put powder in a bunch of cases at one time, then
Right.
you go back and say, did I put the
Yeah.
powder in both? All of these, and then you go back and you might. Some people actually put a double load in by
Yeah.
accident,
Yep.
and that goes all pretty bang.
Well, it does.
There's a big difference. And it could be dangerous depending upon what caliber you're using, how much powder is what. Anyway, I think that sometimes those folks out there, and I love those sausages, that sausage wrap
Yeah.
from the pig over there in
Pig
Richlands, where we're going to be on May 6th.
Wait a minute. You mean what was in this that I've already devoured?
Yeah, well,
It was so good. Thank
it's
you.
obvious that when they season the sausages, that every now and then they put a double load in
Of the
one.
red pepper
I
flakes.
got one.
Well, if you see a big blister pop out, you'll
No,
know mine
my
had a double.
eyeballs went to watering.
Wow.
The nose went to running.
It was good though. It says red pepper flakes that I'm allergic to. There's a lot of them.
If you got something on the go, sausage wrap, the Piggly Wiggly and Rich
It's
Lands
good.
is hard to
Good
make.
stuff.
Just
Yeah.
take them and they just wrap them in
On
a piece of
May
bread.
6th, while we're at it, that's Wednesday.
Yes.
We've
Yes,
got
it is.
we got at the Piggly Wiggly there in Richlands.
Oh,
We've
okay.
got
I'm like, what? Yes.
what do we
Weather
got?
Wednesday.
Thank you.
Weather.
God,
I'm sorry.
trying
We
to get your
went
cue
from
going.
naked gardening to sausage to Weather Wednesday.
Just don't get them mixed up when you go to get your weather radio
Good
program.
Lord.
I'm not sure
Okay.
Donnie Cox could understand that.
Yeah.
Donnie's from Channel 12, WCTI. There are no
Yes.
more channels. They need to take those numbers away. The WCTI weather guys, they'll be there in force. Donnie Cox, the chief meteorologist, and they'll be programming weather radios. You want your weather radio reprogrammed, or you don't have one. Piggly Wiggly's got a whole stock of them waiting for you. Now, we have seen a couple of events, a couple of stores in the past where they ran out of radios as the day wore on. My strong suggestion is the weather team will be there at 11 o'clock on each one of the Weather Wednesdays, but the first one's going to be at the Piggly Wiggly on the 6th of May. And my strong suggestion, if you want to buy a weather radio there at the Pig, get your butt on over there prior to 11 o'clock. You might check the day before just to find out. I don't know whether they have them, when they're going to put them on sale. But go ahead and get your radio. You're going to like it. You're going to hate to like it at some point in time, because that radio is going to go off and you're going to say, what in the Sam Hill was that? And then once you get used to it, you're going to say, oh, God, I better check the radio very quickly.
It's almost like getting tased when that thing goes off.
But because at some point in time, these severe
good.
thunderstorms are going to be normal. But when you get a
Yes.
hurricane, when you get a tornado warning, when that thing comes ashore, comes aground, down around, it lets you know and wakes you up, and you got to react. You don't have time to go looking on the internet. You don't have time to turn your other stuff on and wait and see if your phone goes off, because Aunt Molly's going to be talking to somebody and she's going to block your phone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and get yourself a weather radio. They work when everything else doesn't. Okay.
Yes,
And but come on out there. The Onslow Amateur Radio Club will be out there. This is the group of people that we know. We belong to that organization. And you hear from several of them every morning, because they're stationed around Onslow County and over in Carteret County. We got one gentleman over there, and then we tune into some other ham radio operators up and down the coast. Usually the New England Weather Net. So I eavesdrop on those guys. And so the ham radio club members will be out there helping you. They're the real techie geeks, so they can get her done. If it doesn't work, they'll bring a soldering gun and fix it.
Yeah.
We have a guest in the studio this
All
morning.
right.
He's not a guest. He's
Yeah.
sort of a regular.
Yeah, you didn't introduce yourself.
Or
yet.
irregular.
Man, you won't be irregular if you eat a couple of those sausages.
Yeah.
Shoo.
Well, I'll take something for that. But yeah, the donkey man's in the house this morning. We're off today.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Why are you off today?
I have a voluntary ag district meeting this afternoon.
An
and,
ag district.
yes, sir. I'm part of the voluntary ag district board, and we meet.
So what do you guys do?
Well, we the farmers can get involved in this, and if you've got 10 acres or more and it's in production use.
If you're
you
farming
can-
your land,
Yeah, and say somebody buys property about a mile from you, going to build houses or a house.
Mhm.
That if you're in the voluntary ag district, it's noted, and if before you purchase that house, you will receive a letter. The developer has to give you a letter that there is a workable farm within a certain distance of you.
you might have cows.
So
and horses
you may
and
smell
goats and-
something,
yeah.
basically, and we have
Natural gas.
right good participation, and it's well, I've been on the board for good God many years, and it's pretty
So
good.
they have to, if you have one of these, a farm in an area that's listed,
Mhm.
but it has to be listed with you guys, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so you have a list of it, and you furnish the list to all the realty.
Yep, the
folks.
realtors
They
have to go in
access
there,
it.
and when they come up there and look at the land, they have to look at the surrounding area, and they
Uh-huh.
say, "Oh, there's a voluntary ag district farm right here,"
Uh-huh.
and there'll be a sign
Now,
at that
let
farm.
me ask you this. So let's just say you're raising wheat,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and that doesn't put out a whole lot of odor.
Well, all depends on what you put on that ground before the.
Okay,
Wheat
well,
comes.
let's go back. Let's do something
Okay.
benign. You like to grow maters.
Yes, sir.
and you have a farm with 10 acres of maters on it.
10 acres of maters.
Okay. It's not unusual. I mean,
No.
I think there's one over in Burgaw like that.
Yeah.
There used to be.
One over there in
So but they
Jones
don't
County, yeah.
produce a lot of stink.
Mm.
What happens if you change your and somebody builds a home out there, and then you decide, hey, I'm changing this to a hog farm. I need to. Tomatoes ain't bringing the money that they used to bring. I'm going to sell some bacon on the hoof.
Well, if it's in Oslo County, there's a right now in North Carolina there was some, and especially in Oslo, there's a moratorium on it. No more hog farms right now. Now
Okay.
other counties and other Pender counties.
Pick another turkeys.
Okay, yeah. If you
Okay, so
you can
change
do
it.
that, yeah.
You want to quit growing tomatoes, or you want to raise turkeys?
You want to raise turkeys, you
Okay,
get it with a
and
turkey
when-
contractor, and
Okay, so you got that done.
Mhm.
Now, what happens to these people who moved in thinking you were growing maters, and now you're producing turkeys that are producing stuff, and the
They-
wind blowing from that direction?
Well, the first thing's going to happen is they're going to get a lot of flies that they didn't get before,
Uh-huh.
and they can start complaining. And they have in the
Well,
past.
what can they do about it?
Well, they can start complaining,
They
and
were-
they
they
can
were-
put in
they-
try to put in a lawsuit.
But
They can
they-
do it. You can do a whole lot.
Yeah, I know what they can do, but
Right.
I mean, they built in a place that they could build in, but they were notified that there's an
Workable
obstacle
farm.
course there,
Right,
a potential obstacle
Yeah,
course, and
there's
you
a
said,
workable
"Oh,
farm."
they'd run sunflowers," or
but
something. No
it's,
problem.
it's happened that we've had hog farms shut
Gotcha.
down in Oslo County.
Really? Because people complain.
We had a guy that sold a little piece of property to some people, and they built a house, and after they started suing the hog farm because of the smell. But he sold them that piece of property, and they knew the hog farm was there, and they wound up, and there was a few more factors involved, but they wound up he had to shut down.
Ah,
Sure did, because
I just offered them some bacon for life. I mean, bacon to go along with
it was a big stink. It was budget, well,
Hard to
big
find.
stink, yeah. But it was years ago, but it happened. It was a big write up in this county. But yeah, it wound up shutting him down.
You always knew when it was fertilizer time in Rochance, because when I, for a short period, lived at Catherine Lake, you could walk out the back door and that odor would hit you.
Smell like money.
Ooh,
That's what we
I was
call
like,
it.
yeah, they're out there fertilizing
Sounds
the
like
fields.
money. It's kind of
You
like
got
this.
Yes.
Sounds like this. It's just like the sounds of freedom
Don't
around.
Well, you got to
around our
understand this.
military bases.
Fertilizer, it costs so much money. I mean,
Yes.
your nitrogen doubled this year again. Your seed doubled. All your fertilizer doubled. If you, I need to cut that thing off.
I can
But
do
if
that
you
for
get out
if
there,
like.
you can try and put your turkey litter out, and
Turkey
and it
litter.
helps. Turkey litter, chicken litter. Some people use hog waste. They
Mhm.
spray it on the fields for especially for hay. They produce
But it's
hay
going to
with it.
produce stink,
And, yeah, it's going to
Well,
and
produce
then you're
stink.
going to be suffering. So what are they going to do about it?
Oh, they can complain,
Oh,
but if
okay.
you're at least if you're in the if signed up for a voluntary ag district, and you know this, so and
Well-
if you want to complain, if you want to even go to court, so what you were given this letter before
Okay.
you moved
Good
in,
luck.
so there you have it.
All right.
And there's some other things involved in it.
This stuff that, like turkey waste that they go out
Mhm.
and spray as fertilizer, do they use that on food crops?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think fertilizer is?
I mean, it's a waste product. It was done back in the colonial times. I mean, they used to catch fish and do that. So, and they would use
there you
fish,
go.
and guarantee you some of that would stink.
And there you go. I know that there's always a certain time of year, like the smell. And when I was traveling last week, I came through one county, still has a few farms left, and you could tell they had been fertilizing.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
So
But-
it
When you
is.
put that turkey litter out, buy some potash.
right.
Oh,
Well, I was
and it's a bomb. You got to do something with.
to a farmer in Sampson County last week, and he was just talking about how the prices on fertilizer were just killing the farmers right now. So
It is. Well, the seed, and
Mhm.
I was talking to a farmer not long ago. There was a certain corn seed. You got a corn now that you can plant, and in 80 days you can pick it.
Hmm.
And
That's some fast growing corn.
It is. They call it 80-day corn.
Okay,
And he couldn't get it.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and we've got
Let's go
coming up
with
at
it.
7:30. We got Dr. Rose. We'll
That's
find
right.
out how all this stuff is affecting our kids, if at all. Put them to work out there in the fields, helping. That'll cure whatever they got going on, right?
Amen.
And we do not know. We'll find out when the door opens, I guess, whether we have Peter Wright and to talk about that stuff that we all dread talking about, Medicare.
Mhm.
We kind of know about it. So if you've got some questions, if Peter comes in today or whenever he does next time, you got some questions, write them down so you can call us and let's get the questions answered. So
I got a good Medicare story.
okay, another one bites the dust. Representative Sheila Sheriffless
Bye-bye.
McCormick is resigning from Congress rather than be formally disciplined by the House as part of an ethics investigation into her use of campaign funds.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen of the political persuasion, if you're collecting campaign monies, you can't spend it on bubble gum. You can't spend it on underwear. You can't spend it on, you can't do
Makeup,
you
clothing.
can't do that.
Yeah.
You got to spend it on and you got to verify it. You got to have receipts for every dime that goes out of
yes.
those campaign funds. Okay. You got to show where it came from. Make sure that you got it from a legitimate source. You can't say I found it on the street corner. You've got to justify it. And when you have issues with it, you're going to get caught. You're going to get caught sooner or later. Explaining her decision in an extended social media statement or rant on Tuesday, the Florida Democrat decried the internal investigation process. It's unfair. God, they got me. They didn't get everybody else. Why did they get just me? She said that sounded just like her, probably, didn't it? She said the House committee denied her and her new attorney, wonder how many new attorneys she's had, adequate time to prepare a defense. So I'm going to quit. Putting yourself in her shoes, would you resign instead of putting up a fight if you were innocent?
No.
If you were innocent, would you quit and hope that investigation stops when you quit? Or would you put up a fight? How much is that $200,000 a year worth to you?
Well,
And the perks and the notoriety
well, Sheila, let's talk about
and the campaign funds.
let's talk about the $5 million that you stole that were COVID relief funds.
What?
And how about that 3-carat diamond ring that you bought
What?
with it? Yeah, I'd resign too, and I'd go to Bermuda or Bahamas somewhere.
Her attorney probably told her to resign. The Southern Poverty Law Center, my favorite
Yes,
group of
isn't
people,
that something?
indicted Tuesday on criminal federal fraud charges, claiming it improperly raised millions of dollars to secretly pay leaders of the KKK and other hate groups for inside information. That's according to the acting Attorney General, Todd Blanche. The Justice Department alleges the civil rights group defrauded donors by using their money to fund the very extremism it claims to be fighting, with more than $3 million paid to informants through a now defunct program to infiltrate white supremacists and other extremist groups. Prosecutors claim some of the money was used by extremists to carry out other crimes, but court papers did not include any specific examples of that yet. According to the acting AG, the SPLC was actually manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. We have so often referred to groups as who infiltrate. They get in there and they're agitators.
Mm-hmm.
There are professional agitators on all sides. And some people, according to the Attorney General's office here and this investigation showing, this organization was hiring people they didn't like to infiltrate and create hate and discontent so that they could justify their existence by coming out to say how much they oppose this hate and discontent. I'm sorry. That is just flat wrong. That's not the way you work. I thought better of the Southern Poverty Law Center, honestly. I never thought a lot of good about them, but I thought better of them than that. The civil rights group faces charges of wire fraud, bank fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering, in this case brought by the federal court in Alabama, where the organization is based. The indictment came shortly after the SPLC revealed the existence of a criminal investigation into its disbanded informant program to gather intelligence on extremist group activities. They disbanded the group. I wonder why they did that. Because they knew something was coming down? Yes, they did.
Erica Mitchell is now the CEO. She's the acting CEO of the organization because the CEO, Margaret Huang, or however it is, who was the president CEO, just recently resigned in order to focus more on her family. No, it sounds like to me she knew what was coming down. She got out. I need to focus on my family. Let me take all this money I've stolen with me.
The word family is used by a lot of organizations. Weather is important to pretty much everybody out there. So the one thing that we all have in common is having a need to know. One group of people whose safety depends on the weather, boaters. Our marine forecast out to 60 nautical miles, we're under a small craft advisory. That means you guys with smaller boats that sometimes you like to go into the ocean should probably stay inside and on the good side of the inlet, because the inlets can. If the ocean is bad, the inlets are killers. When the ocean is not so nice, getting there is your worst part. Today, offshore, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 20 to 25 this afternoon. Seas 2 to 3 feet. They're going to build to 3 to 5 later today. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, becoming rough in the afternoon. Thursday, westerly winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming southwesterly in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5, subsiding to 2 to 3 in the afternoon by tomorrow afternoon. Friday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet.
Today, sunny with a high near 83, light southwest wind increasing 9 to 14 miles per hour. Winds could gust as high as 22, and we are under an increased fire risk.
Yeah.
Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 57. Thursday, sunny with a high near 88. And Friday, sunny with a high near 89. And I will say that the North Carolina Forestry Service, since we started this burn ban in March, has given out 233 citations for people burning.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't know there's a burn ban, where have you been?
Florida's on fire.
I'm shocked that we hadn't had any more fires than what
We're
we've
lucky.
had.
We're lucky.
We
Because
have
there
been
are
so
people out there.
lucky.
Y'all just don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. And all eyes, they got cameras up everywhere for you firebugs out there. If you're that sick, go out in the backyard and build yourself a little fire in a fire pit or something like that, and sit around in the dark and whatever.
Yeah, they don't have the fire tires. They don't use the fire tires anymore. They use satellites.
Yeah.
They can get you.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, Joe out there, one of the ham radios in the borough, the Swansboro, this morning, he's reported in. He's on his way to Morehead City right now. It's his Waffle Wednesday over there. So he and a group of a bunch of like-minded hams and others, they gather and have waffles every Wednesday, Waffle Wednesday. But Joe out in Borough, 48 degrees this morning, 93% humidity, 30.23 inches of mercury. Calm. Guess how much rain he's got? I think he's got the rain gauges around here right now are begging for rain.
I'm going to go pour some water in mine
just so it feel better.
Just so it registers.
It's a good time to clean it out.
Maybe it's like those pumps, the old hand pitcher pumps that you had. You had to prime them first. So maybe if you put a little, hey, that's an idea. Maybe if we all put a little water in our rain gauges, it will prime them and rain will come down.
How about a naked rain dance?
Was that an invitation?
You first.
You could do it while you're gardening.
Carol over in River Bend, she says she and Dale reporting 43 degrees this morning, 97% humidity. Winds are calm, nothing happening. Ward and Cedar Point over there and just across the border over there in the other county, 62.1 degrees, 70% humidity, 30.29 inches of mercury and falling. Winds, he said, are very light out of the southwest. Last time he saw something blowing. Randy on his golf cart this morning driving around with Boomer, 39 degrees at southwest. That's cold. That's a cold spot. 30.21 inches of mercury, 98% humidity, very light wind out of the north. And Lee over in the Woodlands this morning said it was 43 degrees at that time, 88% humidity, 30.3 inches of mercury and falling. No wind. Brian in the borough, 50.4 degrees, 76% humidity, 29.89 inches of mercury, no wind. Ken in Onslow Bay, right down the street from us here, a couple of miles away, 43.2 degrees, 76% humidity and no wind. Over at Catherine's Lake, Bill said the lake is still there and he has no snow, no rain, no sleet, no hail, and 47 degrees. Here, Jacob. And this is a new place. I never heard of it. Shamokin, Pennsylvania. Shamokin, Pennsylvania. Jacob is up there. He reported 30.76 inches of mercury and 50 degrees, and he had 0.01 inches of rain. I'm jealous. I'm just jealous. Here at the studio and country club, it's not currently 45 degrees, 99% humidity, and rain is in the forecast. It claims 29.98 inches, still steady mercury. And we've had no real wind overnight. It's the thing is moving around out there a little bit, but it's not spinning. So that's just the way things are, I guess. No, winds are calm, no rain.
You know, we were talking about the fires in Florida right now. They have over 113 wildfires burning and almost 13,000 acres.
It's probably all those young people who went down there on spring break.
Well, this is from one end of the coast to the other, but yeah, Florida's a mess right now.
Mm-hmm. We're waiting here. We should be getting Dr. Rose any moment now, so we'll be tied up for a minute or two. Let's see, what else do we have here? Everything else I got is dealing with some stuff to Rose, and then we may have to wait till. Yeah. We do have some mess, I guess, got attacked.
Yes.
The multiple cargo ships were attacked on that oil route.
Did you see we extended
after we had extended the ceasefire? Again. Well, you know what? If you keep that up, that deal is off.
Mm-hmm.
If you start shooting at these boats, you start trying to hit any shipping interest, we're going to shoot back. And personally, well, no, I'm not a big fan of waiting till somebody shoots at me to shoot at them. Right. If I feel or know or think they're going to do that, I
don't mind being first.
Well, it wasn't Iran that shot at these boats. Yes. One of them they pretty much destroyed. They did a lot of damage to.
Well, we haven't done enough. when they're able to still shoot at you, then they've still got stuff. That's just not a real good thing. That so-called elite branch of the Iranian armed forces, the Revolutionary Guard Corps, has blocked the legitimate presidential appointments and erected what sources are describing as a security cordon around Supreme Leader Khomeini. No, dude, you put a bullseye on him. Go ahead and put I wonder who would like to be in charge of that security detail to protect Khomeini. You know what? If they got to go through you to get to him, that's not an issue when the missile comes a calling.
I'm telling you, it's getting ready to blow up.
I wouldn't want to be the Khomeini.
No, bad enough being him, but just think about it's called collateral damage.
Right.
If you put yourself close to a target, it's kind of like building a house right next to a chicken farm.
You won't
Or
get
an
it.
airport.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just going to be, they don't get quieter engines and they don't put suppressors on them, all right? When you build near a gun range, you guess what you're going to hear?
That's right.
Gunfire.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
So when you put yourself out there to play with these,
Yes.
to protect people that are great targets, what they call HVT is high value targets.
Right.
Sorry, buddy, you're on your own
You're
at
it.
one time. Get ready to meet thy maker. Good morning, Dr. Rose. How
Good
are you?
morning.
I'm doing well. Good morning.
How are things going up there in Alamance County?
Well, I have no complaints.
Okay.
Weather's lovely. Still lots of pollen. Well, I guess that was a complaint. But apart from that, it's just spring and wonderful.
Oh, good.
Very good.
Are the kids, are they pretending to be healthy when they come to see you? They may feel like they're sick at home, but come to see you, and there's a white coat syndrome, and I just feel fine, doctor. Let me go out and play now. Don't tell mama that I got to stay inside. I need to go play. Do kids do that?
They do that a lot, don't they? Especially if they have a field
Grown-ups
trip
do that.
the next
Yeah,
day.
well, they learn when they're little. So they're is there anything going around that mamas and daddies really need to know about to be on the alert for?
It's just some stomach viruses. We're getting a lot, and then with the pollen and everything, like we're getting several kids with ear infections and sinus infections because of all the goopy stuff that they have. And remember, kids don't blow their noses; they sniff in. So you got to teach them young how to make sure that they blow their noses and they get rid of all that junk that's in their throat. They got to spit it up.
Well, when it gets there in the throat, and then they start swallowing it, then it's you end up in your gut, and then you got a gut problem, right?
You can do that. Can happen, and sometimes you actually are swallowing it. It goes into your airways if you're a smaller child. So either way is not good. And that humidifier, if they're gunky like that, so that you can make it more liquid and they can spit it back out.
Maybe if Mama would make some sausage, like a bite or two that I took here this morning already, and put the pepper flakes in it that was in this sausage, those noses and eyes and other things will run, and you will expel whatever's up there. What do you think about
I
that?
don't know that I would recommend that in an infant, but
Well, you gotta have
that
teeth.
might be one way to do it.
I'll tell you what, it's better than pepper spray. So pepper spray will also cause all of your sinus issues to just break loose.
Oh, yes.
Well, also not recommended in children.
Oh, shoot, Jackie, you're taking all the fun out of it. Let's break them in right.
Yeah, we can't do nothing.
Oh,
Well, I have a question, Dr. Rose. This morning we were talking about all the wildfires in Florida, which makes breathing hard, especially for children or anyone that's compromised with breathing
old
issues.
people.
What would you advise parents to look out for with your children outside playing and there's heavy smoke in the area from woods fire?
Well, first, I probably, for the time being, would not let my kids play outside.
Good.
Because their airways are going to suffer. It's like smoking cigarettes from like maybe a pack or two. When you're actually outside and you're inhaling that into your airways, it's bad for adults. But for children, that can be really, really rough and leave their airways damaged.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. So no, I wouldn't. If the air looks hazy and there are fires in your vicinity, it's best to find something else for the children to do. Don't have them play outside.
You brought up the cigarette smoke. Of course, the number of adults smoking cigarettes is greatly reduced since the time that I was in school, because at that time, the estimate was, according to all people that reported, 50% of adults smoke cigarettes. 50%. That reduced to about 25% over the first few years of when they really came out with, and they banned radio and TV from broadcasting cigarette ads. Any tobacco ads were banned in 1972. So that along with all the education reduced the consumption to about 25%. And it has come down since then. But the price of cigarettes has gone up, and the addictive stuff that they put in cigarettes. Today, cigarettes are a whole lot more powerful than yesteryear's cigarettes. But the point here that I'm going to make here is parents are still smoking, some of them, even with little kids in the house. And I don't know if you've ever lived in a house or been in a house where one or more of the people inside that house smoked inside that house religiously, a pack or more a day of cigarettes. The smoke is going to accumulate. It's going to be on the walls. It's, whatever you do or touch.
In the curtains.
If you take, and the curtains are hanging there, but I've been in places like that where you can take a white cabinet, these really nice white enamel cabinets, and if you take some cleanser on a rag, you can clean half of it and you can see the difference. What kind of impact does that have on our little kids from infant up?
Well, just imagine that those are your lungs.
Oh, we know it's in our lungs.
Yeah. That those are your lungs. As you're cleaning that off, just imagine, those are my lungs. Yep. It's bad. It really is. At one point, it's like breathing through a straw, because there's so much of a film on your lungs and your airways that you're not just breathing air, and it's going down into your small airways. So yes, the impact can be very negative. What I have noticed is that people who are trying to get themselves off of drugs, and I mean bad drugs, they go back to cigarette smoking because it's the lesser of two evils.
They think. And
there are children living in those homes, and I have to feel very sorry for both the parent and the child, because the child is smoking cigarettes at this point, but the parent is trying to be the better person, and it's really sad. We thought that the vaping stuff at one point we were sold as full of goods, where the vaping and other kinds of let's say chemicals that you put into your body are not as bad, and surprise, surprise, it's worse. And so now you got kids, well, what I consider to be kids in their 20s and 30s having kids, and they're trying to back it up because they were sold this lie. And so they became addicted to all these things, but they realized nicotine is the less of the two evils. So it's really a big problem, and now the kids are getting affected. So my message is, if you're in that category as parents and you're trying to wean yourself off of medication, don't do it by yourself. There are things that your doctor can give you, like nicotine gum, that can make it so that you can lose those bad habits in a little bit of a healthier way, and the kids don't have to suffer as badly. Now, on the other hand, we want all of our parents to be drug free, because growing up in a home that parents are doing drugs is the worst. So just be cognizant of that. If you have a healthcare provider you can talk to about that, just let them know, because yes, a cigarette is not as bad as doing all out drugs, but there are other things that you can do that can be healthier for you and your family to be able to get over the horrendous habit of the bad drugs.
Now, is there any hope for a kid who's grown up, from birth until 18, maybe going to college or getting out into the workforce and leaving home or whatever, getting away from that environment of smoke? Is there any hope for them to recover, or are they going to be screwed up for life because of the damage that was done to their lungs and maybe their brains?
Well, not every child is going to have the full impact of secondhand smoke. And I say that very carefully, thinking, oh, parents might use that as an excuse. But you don't know. You can't tell by seeing them. Is it going to impact them when they're 15, 16, 20, maybe 40 and 45, and they might have silenced the OPD when they get to 40, 45, and everybody's looking around like, how is this happening? But that smoke air that the child was breathing for the first, 18 years of their life, it will probably have an impact. But you may not see it at 18, but that poor kid, as they grow up, when they're in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, that it may turn back at them. So the best thing is to have a smoke-free house. Absolutely, absolutely. So if there's any listener out there and and you smoke and you say, well, it doesn't seem to affect them, they have a long life, a lot longer than what we have whenever we're adults in front of them. And the daily breathing in of that smoke will probably impact them. So consider that and think of the things that you can do to get yourself off of cigarettes. I know that it's not easy because it's something that you've done your whole life, but it is a habit that can be kicked.
It's a habit. There's some will argue that it is an addiction in some cases, and I can see that. The concern is, what about the kid growing up? Okay, he's accustomed to it. Is he so accustomed to it that he's got to have smoke even when he leaves the smoke-filled environment? Does he feel an urge and that he's got to be smoking a cigarette or be in the same environment at least? Is it?
I have not seen that,
Mhm.
but it's likely that they withdraw from nicotine at the same time, or that and here's the thing, it's a psychological thing. If their parents are smoking, but they're nice people, now just because you smoke doesn't mean that you're not a nice people.
Correct.
But let's
Nice
say
people.
granddad
Nice
smokes around the kid all the time, or somebody that is beloved to the child. It's a positive memory or feeling that is left with the child, and they're going to be more prone to smoke. Children of people who smoke are more prone to smoke themselves. So,
Yeah.
Very true.
If that's what you're saying, absolutely, kids who smoke are more prone to smoke, especially if they're left with good memories about sitting around the table and maybe playing some cards and smoking. That kid's going to grow up, and it's more than 50% chance it's going to smoke himself or herself.
Maybe if you're an uncle or an aunt or a relative, a friend of people who smoke like that, and they got kids, and maybe every birthday or Christmas that you buy the kid a water pistol and encourage the kid to take this. When your mama lights up that cigarette, wouldn't it be funny to shoot that cigarette with your water pistol?
I could have seen me doing
I
that.
don't know. That child might get a spanking. I am not an advocate for that one.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to work out a solution to the problem.
I'd have got one.
I don't think that one's going to be it.
Well, we used to be able to get something called loads. Timmy over here remembers
Yep.
that.
Sure
You
do.
probably don't,
I don't.
Dr. Rose, where you could buy a little small charge, if you would, and you put it in the end of somebody's cigarette, and then you put the tobacco back in there, and they light it, and they're smoking away, and all of a sudden, when the fire hits it, it goes boom, and it's.
Oh, no, not Dr. Rose approved either.
You don't like that either?
No.
It was funny
Yeah.
when we did it.
If you're smoking, go get your doctor. See how they
Okay.
can help you. Do a lot of meditation, praying. I'm pretty sure that God doesn't want you to smoke around your kids. If there's that question, no.
Well, we went from
He
woods
doesn't want you.
fires.
There's no probably. He doesn't want you to smoke around your kids.
Right.
It's not a healthy thing.
Now, Lee's point about the woods fires, and
Yes.
that's an environmental thing, and there are problems. We here a few years back, 10, 12 years ago,
It was bad.
we had
yes.
a
Remember that?
fire that went on for about a week in Onslow County, eastern North Carolina, was covered in smoke,
Yes.
ash, everything else falling from the sky. It traveled, I know, 100 miles. at least, and it
Like
went
it's
all over.
You're right,
Yeah.
Rayford.
The satellite
you're right.
pictures in those days, I saw those were like, holy crap, what is this? Looks like we had been invaded by a smoke bomb. But people were at that time, it was so awful around here. We were putting up tape on the cracks, so and around the windows and the
Yes.
doors and anywhere else. And you're running your air conditioner. Oh yeah, you're gonna run that air conditioner because it filters stuff out. And
Right.
changing your filters more often in your house.
That is true.
So
Changing those filters. This is the time to remember that because of the pollen
yeah,
and any kind of smoke that you might have
so
in the environment.
some of us were maybe going to the extremes, but I don't
Mhm.
think you was.
It was pretty bad. And I just remember that you didn't see many people outside doing
Oh,
anything.
no,
It
no.
was so bad. And if you went outside, you actually almost had to wear a mask just to be able to breathe, like if you're mowing the yard.
On an otherwise
That's
bright and
bad.
sunny day on that one Saturday, I headed from here to Morehead City in the ocean, and I couldn't see land most of the way, and I was within sight of land, the distance wise, under most conditions. I couldn't see land, but I got to the Beaufort Inlet, which is there in Morehead City, and the Cape Lookout Lighthouse, which is visible forever, and broad what would have been a bright sunny day, which was it was a yellow overcast day with all the crud in the air. I could not see the 5 miles to the lighthouse. I couldn't see that lighthouse at all. Nothing.
I
That
remember.
does happen once in a while, especially when you have those wildfires. You don't even have to have them in your area.
Nope.
Sometimes you have them, like you said, 100 miles away in another
Yep.
state, and the wind blows them towards you, and it's like, well, why are we getting this?
Yeah.
And that happened. I think that happened a couple years ago. There was some wildfires
It
in the
did,
north,
yeah.
like around Minnesota or Canada,
It did.
and the wind blew them down to the south.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
We had
When Mount St. Helens went off up
Yeah.
in Washington, and the ash was falling as far east as the East Coast.
Yeah.
There was some ash
Well, I
coming in.
remember my doctor that year we had that bad fire said she had the biggest increase in bronchitis she'd
I
ever
would
seen in her
imagine.
life. And she said she treated more bronchitis that year than she ever had.
Yep.
Well, Dr.
And
Rose, just in case people get something like that, the environment, there's not a whole lot you can do about the outside. But
First of all, you're going to get it into your lungs because you have to go outside at some point.
sooner or later.
Right.
So lots of fluids, maybe a cup or two of some good like chamomile tea, which is good for the airways, with some honey in it. It serves as an expectorant. Have some mucinex in the house, and you start to sort of like coughing it up.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
mucinex will help for you to bring it up even more so. And then, make sure that you change over those filters. Preventive medicine is the best kind.
And training, scuba certificate for diving, one is use more of your lungs than typically use. Most people use 25, 30% of their lungs. A big chunk of the air that they breathe in stays in their lungs. They do not expel it. They just breathe in some more air, and it's going in and mixing around with the stale air that's already in there. If you breathe deep enough and exhale, do you try to expel all the air in your lungs so you're breathing in fresh air? That is one of the things they used to tell us in diving that would help us so that we would develop stronger lung power, number one. So, diving was
correct.
easier, but it was also breathing in very clean air. Particularly divers using tanks that have got filtered air.
That's like cleaning your lungs. That's really, really good. We used to have this thing called peak flow meter, and
Yes.
it had a little ball in it, and you could
I've
tell
got
when
one.
you were actually and you could tell when your expirations were really good because you could get that little ball all the way to it was a little ball or even a little arrow all
Yep.
the way to the top.
Yep.
So if you're having lung problems, just order yourself a peak flow meter and exercise your lungs. And there is a lot of truth to that. No, actually, it's completely true. that is helpful to your lungs.
Good.
And you can do that for those little kids that have asthma. That's lung exercise.
All right. Dr. Rose, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rose.
That's actually some good
Oh,
information. I'm glad you
yes.
brought that up, the smoke.
Well, I'm just sitting here reading about all the fires in Florida thinking, those poor people
Yeah.
can't even go outside.
Yeah, well, that's bad. Dr. Rose, see you next week.
Temporary.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay,
Rose.
Thank you.
talk
All
to
right,
you all
bye.
next week.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Good information. But, you think about it.
It's when you think about it and you're breathing in all that crap, whether it's
Yes.
secondhand smoke or
Yes.
woods fires or pollen or anything else, as long as you're introducing foreign substances into your body, into your lungs, you need to get rid of it somehow.
Yeah, you got to.
And actually exercising in a clean environment, say your house, if it's really bad outside, just do your exercising inside until you're breathing hard and breathing deep and let your air conditioning run full blast if you need to. I know it's tough to want to do that.
I remember that year when it was so bad and your car was, I live in Northwoods.
Oh, yeah.
And this
All
fire
those
was
colors.
over in Holly Shelter.
Yeah.
And my car was covered with soot,
Yep.
and ash, and you couldn't go outside. You couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
It was bad.
You ever been around somebody who they smoked in their car?
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
You ever get into their car? Have you ever tried to drive their car?
I just turned on the air full blast or
Oh,
something.
no. If you drive their car,
I can't say that I've never driven
and the
anybody's
steering
car.
wheels are absolutely filthy.
Oh.
You get
And
there.
they're sticky.
The windshield in front of you, because people who smoke, they're driving along, and I don't want to be
Right.
sexist here, but women tend to, I've watched them, have that cigarette up there and they're
Right.
smoking and they got the right hand on the wheel still with a cigarette right there, and that's the windshield in front of them. If you ever have somebody secretly, just go and get some windshield wiper fluid or whatever you got and go in there and clean it with a nice clean rag and look at it and like, I guess I've just had my last ride in this car.
Remember?
I pity the poor people who have to clean the used cars before they put them up for resale
Oh,
at
yeah.
the car lots, because those things have got to be filthy.
Well,
a
even
lot of them.
smoking in the car brings
Talking
the
about
value down.
windshields. Let's talk about windshields. You remember about 3 months ago when I was telling you that I was going to try this experiment where this person was saying, he gives a lot of tips. And he said, take shaving cream, a little bit of it,
Yeah.
and rub on your front windshield. Don't do it. I'm still trying to get it off.
That's kind of like the people that use shaving cream when
I
they do
tried it.
decorate cars.
Yes.
Peel the paint off your car
But
after a while.
like Barbasol shaving cream,
Yeah,
the
don't-
white foamy.
Yeah.
So he said, put a little bit on a
That's
rag
what I
and
use.
rub it on into your windshield, and that will keep it from fogging up.
Yeah.
Lies. Still, every morning I have to turn on my wipers to clear my wind. I can't get it off.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do it. No,
Acetone.
it was that.
Formula 409.
Well,
That's good stuff,
Yeah,
by the way.
do they even still make that
Yes, they
stuff?
do.
How about
You
vinegar?
may have to go to Jolly. Yeah, well,
Vinegar works.
Yeah.
I'll try vinegar because I don't buy those cleaners.
Uh,
I try to stay away from
well,
it.
shoot, I was raised on Formula 409.
Yeah,
Like you were
so
talking about
were we
smoking.
kids.
You ready? Spick and span.
Speaking
Spick and
For
span.
floors. Your
Yeah.
car,
Yeah.
your floor was spick and span.
My
clean.
mama used that spick and
Oh,
span, the
God.
powder in the box, and put some
Yeah.
in the mop bucket.
You
You
clean
could smell
floors
that
with.
from one end of the
Get
house to the
Yes.
other.
Get
and
rid of
next door.
mold too. If you had
Yeah,
mold in
yeah.
the corner and
Yeah.
you take it, and it's gone.
And then it was Mr. Clean after that.
Mhm.
But I remember every year
Pine-Sol.
we would have to wipe the walls down with Formula 409.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I did it every year when growing up. All right, get out the 409. And here we go.
You had a 55-gallon drum up there.
And we needed one. We needed one.
I
You-
try to now use all natural cleaners.
Yeah.
And I Rhonda really is what I use. I have not bought cleaner
well,
of any kind in a long time.
well, a lot of people they were scared of Roundup, this, that, and the other. I said we can get you a saltwater solution. I
Right.
said if you can do it and get away with it, go to the ocean, pump you about 100 gallons of ocean water, come back and spread it around your house, and
I never
your
heard of
grass will die.
that.
Yeah, and
Never heard of that.
what you're doing is changing the pH
Right.
in your ground where nothing to grow.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Problem
And they'll
is-
say, well, ocean water. Well, you can make your own ocean
I need
water.
to spray some Roundup and in my
And
driveway.
that stuff works, but you will find out in things like when we had Florence
Right.
Yeah.
that picks up ocean water and it drops it in other places
Yeah.
when you live on the coast. And we had some of that here. I had a rosemary plant that was almost killed as a
Wow.
result
It
of
will kill your trees.
It will kill stuff. And so
mean-
that's one of the reasons after a hurricane around here, particularly one that's got a lot of rain in it, like Florence
Yeah.
did, 30 inches of rain.
Remember the year that it killed a lot of dogwoods?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So,
And you can go down 53 where it flooded. Shelter
yeah.
And you can look at the tree line and tell how far it
Mhm.
went
Yeah, that's right.
because that part of the tree is
Right.
is dead.
All right. If anybody, you guys, please call to interrupt anytime you would like to with some information or request information. We we could, if you need your donkey shoed or
Yeah.
hoofed or whatever,
Wait.
or your spouse, maybe have toenails that are just bad as donkey hoofs.
Hey,
Call Tim.
I had
Take
my
care of it.
pedicure last Saturday. I had a fantastic report. There was nothing wrong with my toe. My toe was complete. I don't have all that diabetic growth that people talk about. I didn't know about it, but I was having
That's good.
ingrown toenail problems, and
Very
I
good.
go to an ingrown toenail specialist. And she said a lot of diabetics have a lot of skin that grows around their toes. So, and she, after all this time between visits, I never had a problem this time.
Well, you must
Never.
have been wearing them pointy-toed boots.
No,
or something.
sir.
You never did?
Mm-mm.
There's
No.
a lot of women who wear those pointy-toed
Well, I
shoes.
tell that
Pointy
too.
toe
My
shoes. How that
pedicures
is.
tells that too. Do not wear
Oh, no,
pointy
no,
toe shoes or
square.
boots.
I want to talk a little bit about crime and punishment, one of my disgustingly favorite topics, because it's a thing. I welcome your comments, and especially if you disagree with me, please. If you disagree with me, and I'm not going to blast you because everybody's got their opinion.
That's right.
I expect you to disagree, especially if you've got a good heart. How's that for a setup? If you've got a good heart, I expect you to disagree with me today. I can't blast you for it. I suspect that I will agree to some extent, but when it comes to realistic practicality, I'll put those two words together. When it comes to realistic practicality, we may never see things in the same light. We probably won't see them the same way. The shooting in Winston-Salem Monday morning. 2 teenagers dead, 5 other teens wounded. Their conditions range from minor to critical. An investigation reveals that everything started as a planned fight involving 2 or more young people, but escalated to multiple people engaged in this fight, with at least 2 shooting at each other. All this as police were on the way to the scene. From that information, it looks like police were alerted to a big fight between 2 young people. They were en route to the location, and that fight escalated with several people opening fire. In other words, at least 2 people in that scene of the planned big fight brought guns. As usual, when gunfire broke out and sirens were heard, the crowd that had gathered disappeared. Along with the dead teens, one 16, the other 17, those wounded included 1 teenage boy and 4 teenage girls. Winston-Salem police had 2 people being detained. Charges are expected to be filed against adults who were there. Anybody 18 and above is an adult, even if they had gathered just to watch the planned fight. If they were there, they're going to be arrested. Good. Who just shows up for a fight between 2 kids? And among those who showed up to watch, who brought the guns and why? The 2 that were killed, one was 16, one was 17. At a news conference, the Winston-Salem Police Chief, the Forsyth County Sheriff, and Forsyth County District Attorney, one of my new heroes, Jim O'Neill, emphasized they were going to remain tough on violent crime. O'Neill said that law enforcement officers, in his words, will arrest you, you will be brought to court, and we will show no mercy whatsoever. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great political speech, so I did a little deeper dive into this DA's track record. I was thinking maybe this is all talk. So many people do that at news conferences. I'm the greatest in the world, just see me. He is well known for not dealing with violent offenders, seeking consecutive sentences for multiple criminal acts. That's what lawyers want to do. He don't want him to do. He goes after, if you've got 5 charges against you, he wants you to be sentenced for each of those 5 charges. And he wants you to be not serve all those 5 years here, 5 years here, 5 years, not at the same time. You can't do that. He wants you to finish this sentence and then the next one kicks in and the next one and the next one. If you got 5 5-year sentences, you got 25 years you're supposed to serve. That means bad guys spend longer times behind bars as opposed to standard weak-minded liberal district attorneys who agree to allow pleas that involve concurrent sentences. That's where they serve 5 different sentences all at the same time. With concurrent sentences, a defendant may plead guilty to all charges, guilty, and be given 5 sentences for all 5 different offenses as long as he serves, in effect, only 1 prison time, 1 session for one of those crimes, in effect. Sounds like the Forsyth DA might be a great candidate for Attorney General here in North Carolina one day. I would like to see it if he had such aspirations. During my look-see at O'Neill's record, I found that he was actually appointed to fill a vacancy by then Governor Beverly Perdue, a flaming liberal Democrat. Not one of my favorite governors because of her liberal attitude. I was a little more than surprised to learn that O'Neill is a registered Republican. So I was thinking, well, maybe he changed party affiliations after he got the job. No, he's been since he registered to vote. Day one, he's been a Republican. Time for my 2 cents worth. I wish all DAs would just tell defense attorneys no when presented with offers of leniency. All lawyers will go to a district attorney or an ADA representing the district attorney and say, listen, can't we make a deal? I'll plead this guy guilty to, jaywalk, and if you drop that murder charge on him. They start out like that. Then let's make a deal. Where can we settle? Can't we get somewhere in the middle here? No such offers should just suddenly show up one day in court, perhaps at the end of the day when the judge wants to go home. Those proposals should be published online. The proposals, any offer made between a district attorney and the lawyer, those offers should be published online before the trial. And that should be on the district attorney's website and at the investigating law enforcement's website. Oh, God, every attorney in the world would kill me for this one. Yeah. Any deal offer, including those where the defendant agrees to plead guilty to one charge if others are dropped, where charges are consolidated in considering the total penalties, anything other than the charges that are originally brought, all must be published in plain language for every person in this entire world to see if they want to. If that happened, I suspect that fewer deals would ever see the light of day. I suspect that more criminals will spend more quality time behind bars. And I know for a fact that those prisoners behind bars will not be breaking into homes and businesses while they're paying for the crimes they've already committed. I know that for a fact. If you're behind bars, you are not going to be breaking into my house.
True. That's it.
Mathematically, we know that a majority of convicts get out of prison and continue a life of crime. It's a fact of life. Look at the recidivism rate. We're going to look at that's 3,500 that the ex-governor, the one who wants to be our senator, I'm going to look at those 3,500. I will find out how many of those have been rearrested already.
Right.
I know of several.
Right. Yes.
With that professional, criminals, if they're removed from society, fewer crimes are going to be committed. We know that. If they're out of pocket, they're not going to commit crimes. There will be less need for the cops who are already overworked. Not that you want to get rid of them, but now you could go and put those cops on looking into the other crimes that are being committed that they don't have time to investigate properly. The bad crimes get all the attention. The smaller crimes, against most of the crimes that happen, they get very little attention. It's by nature that has to be that way. It's called priority. It's just like when they go to a mass casualty scene, they're going to do an analysis of who needs treatment first. Be honest. Do you really care about the people who commit crimes against us time and again and again and again and again? Do you care about them? Do you believe that career criminals have anything to offer society? Why do them a favor? Isn't it time to take care of the rest of us for a change? Take care of us. Don't worry about them. No probation, no parole. Done.
Yeah, put them on a pea farm and let them grow crops and let the state let them eat.
And put the guy with a good old double barrel shotgun out
Yeah,
there and
sit
say,
on a horse.
anybody
Yeah.
who runs is going to be shot. If you are fleeing,
Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah.
you are a convicted person and you flee, you are apt to be shot. Period. All reads,
Put them
by the
back
way.
clean in
Well, does that cover shooting them in the back as they're running?
It doesn't matter.
Well, we've had some very serious national court cases over this type of thing.
When they are fleeing as a convicted felon, prison guards have more power. If you've got them and you've got them or trying to arrest them, they have not been convicted.
Right.
But fleeing after conviction in North Carolina, I don't know how changed it's been, but that should be continue to be allowed and encouraged.
Yeah.
That will discourage a guy from wanting to run. I know the dude with the double barrel shotgun up there, he's a serious person.
Yeah.
Probably uses it to duck hunt on weekends.
I still say we need to bring back the chain gangs, let them clean out the ditches like they used to do.
We could get the roadways of Onslow County cleaned up.
Well,
couldn't we?
I think the ditches in Onslow County, those drainage ditches that run behind people's homes that got beaver dams and all that stuff in them, put them in there, cleaning those
That's what
up.
I'm talking about. We used to call them mosquito ditches.
Yes, that's what
they were there for.
that's yeah.
Get rid of the water,
That's right.
and they stopped letting them clean up, and instead you flooding when you flooding got worse.
Yep.
When it stopped cleaning, just like New River. New
Yep.
River was supposed to be maintained
Yep.
yearly.
Not done.
And-
They don't have enough people to do it.
No,
Not enough money to hire the people to do it. But again, I will have compassion for the families, the mamas, the daddies, the wives of these people who are doing these crimes. But in most cases, they know what they've got.
Yeah.
I have compassion for them. I'm sorry, but I have more compassion for me when they break into my house. I'm concerned more about me and my neighbors, my relatives, you guys, people, these little punks that keep doing crimes. We need to put them in jail. They need to spend quality time behind bars. It costs too much money to put them in jail. Yes, it does, but it costs more money. Charge the insurance companies for it. It costs more money for them, for the cops to have to investigate the cases, for our losses, insured or uninsured, that we lose money. It costs more money for all of that to occur than it does to keep them in prison. If they're in prison, they're not going to break into my house.
Yeah.
You cannot be in two places at the same time. I know it for a fact. There is one of those laws about that.
Yeah.
We just had some breaking news from Fox, and I'm not sure if it's related to the story that you told earlier, but this just came in. It says Iran has taken custody of 2 ships after opening fire in the Strait of Hormuz. The Panama flagged Francesca and the Libera flagged empanadas are now being brought to Iran by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps.
That's grounds to blow them up.
I'm like,
That is piracy on the high seas. You understand
well,
that?
the president said yesterday that since Iran had no government left because they blew them all up,
He
killed
is
them all.
full of beans.
He said we're letting them regroup, get together, decide what they're going to do, and therefore we're going to extend once again the ceasefire. So now that right there,
Iran does not want us to stop shooting, except long enough for them to do bad things like resupply and get their stuff together, hide their uranium that they did like they did in 2015 when we demanded that we go in and look at it. I'm firmly convinced that the only way to deal with certain vermin You can catch certain things and take them in, like the alligators.
Yeah.
You can take them into places that are nice, far, far away for their homes.
Right.
You can do that with a lot of stuff. And they say, okay, this is good, because they didn't want to leave their good homes in the first place. We forced them out into the open because we took their homes away.
Mm-hmm.
So relocating them to a better environment for them is okay. That works. It doesn't work for these vermin. There are some vermin that will continue coming back. And there's only one thing you can do unless you want to house them forevermore. And I don't. Their forevermore is about 1/10 of a second as far as I'm concerned.
Just
Bang.
blow it all up, let Barnhill go over there and pave it. I mean, it sounds extreme, but that's the way to do it.
There needs to be a very serious look, and notice needs to be given to all of the innocent people over there.
Yeah.
Anybody living near any government official, you need to pack up your mess and leave. I mean, if I was living in a neighborhood here that was nothing but drug infested neighborhood,
Mhm.
and I got word that, hey, we're coming to get them, and anybody who's in the neighborhood, we're sorry, there's probably going to be collateral damage.
Yeah.
I'd be packing my mess up, and I'd be getting out of town until everything cooled down.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm going to go through roadblocks on the way out. That would mean they're doing their job, and they would be smoking these people out, which would be good. But that's the way it should be done. Notify the innocents. Y'all, here's what's coming. 3 days, high noon, or thereabouts. And at 11:30, I'd go ahead and detonate it. I told you thereabouts.
Yeah.
You wait till the last second, that's on you. And I would just detonate it, just flatten it. There's nothing that will survive. Nothing. No living creatures will survive. No, not nuclear stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We got plenty of conventional. We got enough stuff we set off at the 4th of July fireworks to
Yeah.
eliminate that problem. You ever looked at some of these fireworks displays?
Yes.
Holy moly.
Blow up the town.
Yeah, it's like Louis Gazar said about the Civil War. Said the South could have beaten the North with corn stalks. They just
Wow.
wouldn't fight like that.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
we
see.
didn't want to fight like that.
No.
Sherman did.
Yeah, he did.
But there's nothing else that can be done.
Yeah.
Nobody, they've tried solutions. The president has tried to be nice. We've got other presidents have tried to be nice. Nobody took care of the problem. And if they had done it in 1979,
Excuse me.
we would not be in this mess today.
You're right.
And if Richard Nixon had left one organization alone and not converted them for his own personal political crap,
Mm-hmm.
this would never have even come to light. You would never have known about it.
Right.
Just would have been one person at a time.
Yeah.
But it's not the way we had to play the game.
Yep.
And now look who's paying for it. Thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans.
Yep. And I did see diesel fuel a while ago at $5.17 if you paid cash.
I need gas again.
$5.27 with a credit card. That's right down here at
$5.27.
Circle K.
And we have Steve on the phone.
Oh, hold on, Steve. Don't go away. Let me see if I can't get this straight. Third. Oh. Okay, coming. Oh,
He's calling back.
we're going to try it this time. Will. Strike two is our home run. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
I'm doing well. Hope you are too.
Well, yeah. Well, the weather's beautiful.
Hey, good morning, Lee. Good morning, Donkey Man.
Good
What's
morning,
up?
Steve.
Hey, ho, hey, ho.
Yeehaw.
All right. I'm about tired of this chilly weather. It's making me nervous about my pepper plant.
I'm looking
They're
at
gonna
mine.
be
I think I'm gonna do one of the things like they do down in the orange grove sometimes, set a bunch of fires,
I'm glad I ain't got.
No
Get those-
burning.
Get those pots.
I'm glad I ain't got the tobacco set out. That's the truth on these chilly nights because it could mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I hate about the pepper plants is it can mess those up and you won't even know it. They'll still grow just fine until the peppers start setting, and then that's when you'll find out that they were stunted.
They need some good sun and good warmth.
Yeah. I'm lucky that all my raised beds are really close to the house, so I'm hoping the warmth of the house helps it out. But
Yeah.
it still makes me nervous. I put a lot of effort out there.
Well, I was talking to a farmer this past weekend. We was talking about the wheat. His wheat crop is beautiful. The heads are out. I mean, looking good. I see him. And he said, I'm pretty sure I won't have a wheat crop. He said, I said, what do you mean? He said, with the drought. Yeah, but I probably won't have much seed. And cool weather, abnormal just a little bit. And it's really not abnormal because we're still in April. And we used to talk about you get a frost till after April the 15th. And even in May, you'll get what we call the May numb. And I know you've probably heard about that. We got it every year. You would get some cold time in May. And that's what the old folks when I was growing up called it May numb. And that could mess up your garden too. Have you ever heard it? Did you ever hear about that? And I mean, in your stuff, Steve?
Never heard it called that, but I know there's been some.
I've never heard it called that.
Yeah. Now, we'd be sitting out in the back and we'd be in overcoats and it'd be what we call May numb. And 2 days later, we're burning up.
You just had thin blood.
Yeah, but it would be cold. Cold
I
and
was going
windy.
to say, it was always, for me, it was, if it was abnormally warm early, then you were most likely going to get a cold snap late.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you will. But we'd have it every year when I was raised on farms, and we'd have it every year, just about the time you started sitting out tobacco. And it would worry you because it would stunt your tobacco. It could.
Yeah. Hey guys, I called late yesterday, but I felt like I was trying to get out of there, so I let you go. And wanted to comment on something I heard yesterday. It always makes me
good. Can you remember that far back?
Barely, but I'm gonna try.
I probably don't remember any of it.
I got you. One of your callers yesterday was commenting on something I've heard so many people comment on is how the youth of today is lazy and unmotivated.
I hear that.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. And every time I hear that, I always think, isn't that what our parents said about our generation?
Same thing.
Ain't that
You're
same
right.
thing their parents said about their generation?
Steve, let me put it on your level, okay? My parents were screaming and hollering about that rock and roll music of people like Elvis Presley.
Yep.
I was going to say the same thing.
I mean, the same music that's today played in elevators is elevator music. It was.
Yeah, I was going to say Elvis Presley. They said that it was the end of civilization as we knew it.
Yeah.
And actually, it was in some senses. Rock and roll had a big impact on our civilization. Yeah.
Elvis the Elvis.
But it wasn't what they were implying.
Yeah, I remember as a little boy, we'd be at the barber shop and Guy C. Wiggins and Charles Wiggins and all the heads of Richlands and all, they'd be sitting in the barber shop talking about, what is this world coming to with these young people?
They were doing that while they were looking at the Playboy magazines that were in the barbershop. Were they not?
And I say that, and now I've said the same thing. What in the world are we going to do?
Here's what I think about when people say that. Are we not, as a society, trying to make a better world, an easier life for the generations that come after us?
We all,
isn't that what we're all working towards anyway?
Any parent will tell you, I think any parent, any parent will tell you that they would like their kids to have a better life than they had, right? And even if I had a good life, and I did, I want my child to have a better life.
Right. Yeah.
That's what parents are supposed to do.
Well, that's my point exactly. Is that that's what we're trying to achieve, and then so many people turn around and criticize the side effect of that, which is that you have an easier life. It tends to make you softer than the people who didn't have an easy life.
I think the biggest criticism that I have is the replacement of a lot of the events that we did have as kids, such as you're going outside, you're going to play, you got spontaneous ball games that you got 4 guys on a team to play baseball or something, backyard stuff. I think kids are missing out on a lot of that. I think kids are missing out, and whether it's whatever generation it is, they're missing out on the opportunity to go walking through the woods or to go out and be able to go out at nighttime and do things because of all the bad stuff in the world too, but because we're also very paranoid as parents.
Well, I used to walk down the house right there at New River and go fishing.
Mhm.
I would spend the weekend down there just about.
Sure. I've done it.
I wouldn't dare want one of my children, because I've seen homeless people living down there now, but I wouldn't dare, if I had a child, want him to go down there fishing unattended.
Yep.
And I did it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah, I see what you're saying, Steve.
I agree.
Yeah, and anytime society progresses, there's good things that get lost in the mix.
Mhm.
You know, you could take people from my generation. Don't even talk about the young people nowadays. People from our generation. You
Right.
could drop us all out in the middle of the woods. 90% of the people could not point out what you can eat and what you can't eat.
You're right.
And that was something that was common knowledge for a 10-year-old 100 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and
Survival.
so I mean, you know, we're all soft in some ways. You just have to keep your perspective broad. You know,
The one thing I learned about living in the woods or taking stuff from wild bushes in the woods were persimmons. When there was a persimmon tree that were in Sneeze Ferry that we always liked to see, but I learned very early on, don't pick those persimmons and eat them until the possums have started eating them.
Right.
Otherwise, you are going to turn your mouth inside out. But you can learn. That's one of the things you can learn from if you're going to live in the woods is what do the animals do?
right.
And I think, and I'm not blaming the government, but when they came up with these new child labor laws, because back when I was growing up, the kids, we all worked in the back, you know, where I'm at, we worked in the back and got our money. We went and bought our school clothes. And when they changed the labor laws, they started bringing in the migrant workers because they couldn't use the kids anymore. And I, you know, I'm not blaming the government for all that, man. I understand child labor laws, and you need some.
Yeah,
But agriculture was a little bit different.
when they had the sweatshops and the kids
Yeah,
working in the
no, I
sweatshops
understand that. Yeah.
and so
I believe
things
that.
had to change, and for the better like that. But then it also hurt in other areas.
Yeah,
and
well,
that's what society is all
At
about.
one time, you had the child when they started the child labor laws. The agriculture was exempt.
Yep.
So then after that, but I've talked to farmers that went through that process, and they started from paying us by the hour to they would get a crew in of migrant workers, and they paid them by the barn.
Yep.
Okay, I can understand it. So it's actually, they got out a little bit cheaper. Actually, in the long run, they didn't have to deal with all that labor. You had one guy you dealt with, and he had the crew, and they went through there and housed your tobacco, put it in the barn, and they went to another barn. So, you know, a lot of headache went away with that.
Yeah.
But the fun went away with it too.
And some of the family went away with it.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, you would go to this person's house and work in the tobacco. They were in there cooking. You stopped in there,
you
you
both
stopped to
started
eat. Oh God Almighty, you eat, and then you go outside and you rest, and then you go back and put it in.
And
But
you
yeah,
had watermelons at the barn.
Lord, yeah. And we didn't have ice. We put it in down there in the branch.
Yep.
And I would agree with that and say that, you know, that's something like it made me more mature when I worked in tobacco when I was
Oh, it'll
I
do
did it when
that.
I was 12 years old.
And it'll make you
And
want to
it
do
gave
something
me a
else
maturity
too.
I wouldn't have gained otherwise, you know.
And
And
it will encourage you to be something of yourself too, won't it?
Well, I mean, I grew up in a modest family, but we had everything we needed. We lived in a decent house and all that. But as far as like allowance and stuff, you didn't get that.
I didn't
You
either.
know, you had to figure out a way to hustle.
Your allowance was every time you sit down at the table and eat. That's what my daddy told me.
My allowance was for every A that I got on the report card every 6 weeks.
Didn't get
I
many
got
of
you.
them.
I got some rewards for A's once I got up into like middle school and stuff, where I had to be more independent.
Mhm.
But not young, you know. But yeah, like I say, it was character builder. It also made you a little more mature and responsible. And there ain't nothing for 12 years old. 12-year-olds out there, really. out there like that really nowadays.
Well, we were too tired to go out and do any trouble at the end of the day. We wanted to get the biker gun off of us. We want to get the biker gun off of us.
So Steve didn't work as hard as you did apparently, because he found a way to.
Probably not.
He found a way
I
to.
will say
gain
this.
some
I will
energy.
say this with all honesty. I tried to do as little work as possible throughout my whole life.
Yeah. That's normal. Almost.
I can understand that musician route. You know,
I feel like I work harder now than I did when I was in the 40s.
you call it work, but it's fun.
Well, I'll be honest with you. There's a few times I started a new job that I tried to work harder than everybody else and, make a showing. And it's kind of like peeing yourself in a dark suit. It might give you a warm feeling, but nobody really notices.
Yeah.
We called it the 90-day syndrome. Did you ever hear that?
Looking at me like, what the hell did he just say?
But we call it the 90-day syndrome. You hire a guy and he got busted, or a woman, he busted his butt for about 90 days. And, well, his probationary period, he's there, but then you see him start slowing down.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, they give it back.
Yeah, that's it.
Got to coast for a while in second gear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I learned that it didn't really, after a couple of times of doing that, it didn't really make that big a difference. Just go in there and do what everybody else does.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Alrighty then.
you're this weekend, there's a big plant sale right here in Jacksonville, Onslow County.
Yeah, between the farmers market. That's at 8 a.m.
8 o'clock in the
You got
morning, and we need to get out and get our butts over there, because they will run out of plants at some point in time, and they do have more parking this year, a lot more parking, because they've made arrangements in advance.
I went by there the other day, Rayford, and there's still a lot of equipment in that parking lot.
Well, that's why I'm going
Stuff.
early with my Jeep so I can tow some of that stuff out in the middle of the road.
I'll be there at 7 o'clock.
I was going to say, if you see me there, Rayford, wave at me, man. I'll have an extra sausage biscuit for sure.
All right.
When you do when you're there, I'll find you. Just bring a guitar. Let's just start singing somewhere.
Walk around, start strumming.
I got you.
But if you bring a little tin bucket, you might even get some tips.
There you go.
I hear you. A little busking on the side.
Or either tip you to leave.
I was going to say,
Oh, by the way, Steve.
And I'm such a plant geek. I'm going to be walking around looking at all the things they got out there. I'll be all interested in that.
Yeah, I understand.
By the way, I want to give Steve some praise.
Uh-oh.
He did the national anthem not long ago at Carteret County Speedway. That's where it was. Good job, Steve. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've done that. That was the fourth time now that I've done that.
Very
for him,
good.
and, I enjoy that. It's honestly, it makes me so nervous. I get butterflies in my stomach, and
But you couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. You were
Well,
very calm.
I tell you what, the people that are
Very
there,
calm.
that go to that raceway, they love Star Spangled Banner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
And
they are
yes.
pro-American. I'm
Your
an
voice could be
American
good.
boy. We're American.
American.
And if you
Yeah, I got a group of fans that are Vietnam vets that go to every
God
race
help
up there, and they sit in the same place every time, and they're very very early, and so I appreciate them, and they enjoyed it. They always tell me how much they appreciate me coming
Well,
and doing this. So
I appreciate you doing the Star
that's
Spangled
all I
Banner
need.
the way it's supposed to be done. So,
Yeah.
I do like that. So,
I have
where
already.
are you going to be playing next? In the public side?
Let's see. Saturday, I'm at the Bogue Inlet Pier. I'm gonna be right on the pier out there where you walk out to go fishing.
You're going to take your fishing
And,
home?
probably not. Had that guitar strapped on me, watching everybody else catch fish.
Well,
And then Sunday, I'm at the Bogue Sound Distillery.
okay. Fish and liquor. Gotcha.
Yeah. And Bogue Sound Distillery, the only place that has bottle fills on Sunday.
Yeah, you talking about plants. I bought my mosquito plants I call them mosquito plants or
The lemon?
citronella plants. I
need
bought them
some of
last
those.
Saturday. Oslo Feed and Grain. I get them every year
I've
from
never
them.
been there.
It's Carmen in the crowd. They are
I don't even know where
fantastic
they
people.
are.
It's
In Richlands.
Yes,
But
in
that's a big
Richlands.
place now. It used to be, you say Richlands.
behind the liquor store.
I don't even know where the liquor store is
Well,
in
it's,
Richlands.
it's across from the old Speedway.
Oh, God.
We'll keep you going.
Let's go back. TikTok, was it TikTok? What was the drive-in there? Golly.
I had the sunset.
No, the
Drive-in.
drive-in.
Oh, Toot and Tell It.
Toot and Tell It. Toot and
All
Tell
right,
It.
yeah, it's kind of behind. It's 2 streets over behind the Toot and Tell It. You got the old
Gotcha.
bank, the old First
Same
National Bank.
Same
It's
side,
right behind
same side of the building, same side of the road as the Toot and Tell It.
Yeah.
But
It's on
two-
that, but it's 2 streets over. It's
Really?
right behind it. Yeah, go 2 streets over.
So
It's
you
behind the
always
bank.
knew to turn.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There's where the old First National Bank was.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I remember
It's
that.
behind the
Yeah,
bank.
I got robbed one day. I remember that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
guy who robbed it.
I even know where it's at now, right? But they don't do it yet.
But it's not. They're open on Saturday from 8 to 1, and they got the plants out there. They've had the chickens, and I buy my feed from there. Great bunch of people, and you go in there and you buy you buy what you need. If you're buying feed or hey whatever, you back up, you drive through the building. They got open, and you drive through the building. You stop, you put your feed in your car or truck, you drive out. You don't have to tote it.
Hot dang. I like that.
Yes, yeah.
That's better than sitting on the parking lot waiting.
It's whether it's the number 1 Nutrina feed distributor in North Carolina. They sell more Nutrina feed than any other
How do I cook
Nutrina
that
business.
stuff?
Now, well, you can make liquor out of some of it. You can get a bag of 12% sweet feed and make
This
liquor out of it. I was
morning.
told. I don't know.
There's way too much information.
This
Well,
whole
I was-
morning.
I was told that from the Duplin County
Can
guy.
you do it while you're naked?
You
Oh, I
can.
knew it was coming.
But I had a Duplin County moonshiner told me one time. He said, "The only thing you need is yeast and a bag of that feed right there, boy, and you can make liquor." And I said, "Okay, I'll take your word for it." But yeah, you make liquor.
How did it taste?
I don't know. I didn't taste that.
See.
But he said that's how he can make his mash out of that.
Steve, this has gone to, Hades in the handbasket this morning.
I was going to say, guys, I
Yes.
appreciate your time this morning. I'm going to get off.
And I'm
glad you called.
And I'm going to do a little bit of weather.
We're going to do weather.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Take
You
this,
too.
buddy.
Oh, my God, Almighty, help us out. Our marine forecast out to 60 nautical miles. We're under a small craft advisory, folks. That means you guys with the small boats, you probably don't need to be hanging around the ocean. You get out there and you look at it, and if you got white water from the left to white water to the right, stay inside. Don't try to even look for an opening, or you're probably going to find one that's small, or you're going to imagine that it's an opening, and it's probably not. We had a great fishing club meeting last night, the Onslow Bay Saltwater Fishing Club.
Very good.
And Fred Jelinek, who's been a
Fred.
long time mate, you know him.
Yes, he's the
And-
Coast Guard guy.
He's a Coast Guard auxiliary, but he gave a great presentation last night on how to, for particularly new people and folks that are arriving in this area, to be able to navigate Bogue Inlet. That's the primary one that the guys up in the Morehead City area are using. So it was a great presentation. I might get him in here one day just to talk about it. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots today offshore, increasing to 20 to 25 this afternoon. 2 to 3 footers building to 3 to 5 later today. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Becoming rough in the afternoon today, Thursday. Westerly winds 10 to 15, becoming southwesterly in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5. Subsiding to 2 to 3 in the afternoon tomorrow. Looking a little better tomorrow. Friday's looking pretty good. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4 feet.
Okay, today is sunny with a high near 83. Light southwest wind increasing 9 to 14 miles per hour. In the morning, winds could gust as high as 22. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 57. Thursday, sunny with a high near 88. And Friday, sunny with a high near 89. We're under an increased fire burn danger right now.
Just don't.
There is a burn ban. Do not burn.
And they've been arresting people for it. Or giving them tickets.
233 citations
Good.
since March. The
Good.
North Carolina Forestry Service has given out.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, when we were coming back, I won't say we, you were probably ahead of me, coming back Saturday night from the event with our senator.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
coming down the road, and here comes red lights like crazy up behind me. And I moved over, of course, and it was a forestry truck. I'm like, oh, not good. Any red lights
they're
like
on
that.
high alert right now because they will
Yes.
respond to, somebody strikes a match and drops it outside their house.
Right.
They're going to be there. All right.
Right.
Who we got?
It was Charlie trying to call.
Hey, Charlie, did you get through this time?
Yeah, I got through.
There you
Okay.
are. Thank you. What's going on?
So I thought you guys would find this interesting. You know how under the Joe Biden, Barack Obama administration, I don't know, like 20, 25 million people were just allowed to legally enter where they weren't fully vetted. We didn't know if they had like they raped kids. We didn't know if they beat women. We don't know if they were prisoners. We don't know if they were in mental institutions. But get this. I'm going to leave you with this. We didn't even know if they had a DUI conviction, right? Do you agree with everything I just said?
We didn't know anything about them for the most part. You're right.
Get that. So I was listening to this radio show. I listen to a lot of different radio shows around the United States. I was listening to a show in Los Angeles. It's called KFI 640. And there's this host of a TV show. His name is Tim Conway. His father, you know the actor Tim Conway?
I know. I didn't know him. I know of Tim Conway. Yes. Senior.
So his son has a radio show. His son has a radio show in Los Angeles. And I was listening to it earlier. And they're going to go on a cruise ship. And so they have all these people signed up, to go on a cruise with them.
Yes.
But here's where it gets catchy. They're going to meet in Seattle, but they're going to go to Canada. Anybody on that passenger list that has a DUI, guess what?
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 They're not allowed to enter Canada. They're not allowed to get off the boat.
Oh, come on.
Listen to this. A DUI or a DWI conviction makes you criminally inadmissible to Canada, as it is treated as a serious offense, often a felony equivalent. Because Canadian border agents have direct access to U.S. criminal records, even one DUI can lead to denied entry. So get this. He's going to get all these people from the United States of America. They're going to board this boat or ship or whatever it's called in Seattle. They're going to traverse through Canada. Anybody that has a DUI, they can't exit that ship. But here's my point. Think about that. Think about all the millions and millions and millions and millions of people that we allow to enter the United States of America. Even a simple DUI, we might give them like a free pass, right? In Canada, won't let you enter.
I'm gonna have to do a fact check, double check on that one, because I find that one improbable.
I'm telling you right now, I'm reading it. It's called Canadian DUI entry.
I can read anything. I can read anything you want to hear. I can write anything and put it out there, but that doesn't mean it's real. So I will double check you on that.
So let me ask you a question. If what I'm saying is true, what is your thought going to be?
That's going to be the most ridiculous thing that Canada has ever done.
100%. Just check it out. Just Google Canadian DUI citizen. I'm telling you, it's true. They won't let you get. They check everything when you cross that border. But in America, you can do anything. You can probably rape kids. You can probably kill nuns. We're going to let you in. But in Canada, a DUI, nope. I'm telling you right now. Why would I make that up? Anyway, I'll call you guys back in a little bit.
Thank you. Bye.
This show, just like this morning.
I need a drink, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I've got something for both of you and for everyone
I
listening.
need the moonshine, though. I need something that's got some punch to it. It will go right along with this sausage thing that I'm going to be.
You better finish that.
My
I'm gonna
doggy,
eat it.
did you see him jump up just then when I rattled the paper?
He knows.
That's all I did.
He knows.
He's literally, let him settle down again. I'll show you.
I had to give him bread pieces this morning so he calmed down. He can't have the sausage. It's not good for him.
No.
I
Okay.
have something for
Please.
both of you
Okay.
Uh-oh.
and those listening. What is the correct way to say the Pledge of Allegiance? Let's just do it. I pledge allegiance
To
to
the
the
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation under
under
God.
God, which
with liberty and justice
Yeah,
for all.
there's no
Tim had it
pause.
right.
No, there's no
Tim
pause there.
had it right. When you get to and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,
One
is
sentence.
said with no pause.
Right.
Do you know how many people do not know? I did not know that
You
for
didn't?
years
You-
until I got into politics
You know-
and I was schooled on it.
You know who taught me that?
Who is that?
Red Skelton.
Oh,
that's right.
anyway, it
He
goes.
did the Pledge of Allegiance,
I did that.
and it's famous.
Yeah.
If-
Oh,
Yeah.
I did. I recited that one time.
I've seen
It
many
is,
times.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There is no pause with one nation under God.
Yeah.
It's all.
And in 19,
I have not
what is
seen it written in probably 100 years,
Yeah.
but I would like to see it written. And is there a comma?
No.
Between one nation and under God.
Under
I mean,
God was-
written, if the official
Right.
written version of it,
Right.
is there a comma there?
The official written version of it did not have under God in it.
I know that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I figured you would. You history.
That's why I
Right.
did my pause.
Right,
In
but, you know,
1953, I think it was.
That's like, Rayford, where were we not long ago? Oh, it was at the Amateur Radio Club meeting.
Mhm.
And we always start off the morning with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I just quietly listened. And most everybody there was one nation, pause, under God.
That's the way it's traditionally done.
Right.
You're right.
And, you know, like I said, I learned a long time ago, but it's surprising how many of us have been saying it incorrect or whatever.
I had to
So-
do that. I was emceeing a show one time, and I had smaller, and I memorized. I had it tape of it, and I memorized how Red Skelton did it,
Right.
and I did it to the letter. And I had a Marine come up to me after the show, and he says, "You know, I've never heard that in my life." And I said, "Well, I
He's
remember
looking, I'm looking like-
Red Skelton doing it on TV when I was a little
Okay.
boy."
The phrase under God was added to the Pledge of Allegiance on June 14th, 1954 during Flag
54,
Day.
I'm sorry.
Flag Day is
Yeah.
what it was.
This edition was influenced by the Cold War era and was pushed by the Knights of Columbus, reflecting the desire to distinguish the United States from the atheist Soviet Union.
Right.
What?
I had the year wrong.
Right.
But yeah.
No, you were very.
Well,
Yeah.
I said I remember. I was thought it was 1953, but you just said 1954. I
Right.
just had
June
the year wrong.
14th, 1954,
Yeah.
Flag Day. Right.
But yeah, we did it in school that way. I mean, we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was watching Red Skelton, and they did a he stood
Right.
up on his show, and he did his Pledge of Allegiance, and it's great.
Right.
And because he skipped under God when he was doing it, and then he came back and then said in 1954 they invoked under God.
Let me
It
give
was-
you a bit of the original version, the way it's written.
Okay. Go
I
right
pledge
ahead.
allegiance to my flag
Okay.
and to the republic for which it stands, comma, one nation, comma, indivisible, comma, with liberty and justice for all.
Right.
That's right.
Well, the original pledge was written in 1892 by Francis Bellamy.
Okay.
He's a
1892.
mad Baptist preacher.
And it was adopted in Congress June 22nd, 1942.
Yeah, during the war.
And under God was added 1954.
They called this the Bellamy salute, a hand salute.
Mhm.
They changed the hand salute to using the right hand over the heart in 1942 to avoid similarity to the Nazi salute.
Well, you know what was weird, Rayford? You talk about salutes. Okay, this past Saturday, I went to the 3rd Congressional District GOP convention. And we did the Pledge of Allegiance. Half did it right, half did it wrong. And then we did the North Carolina Pledge of Allegiance,
Right.
whatever it is, the North Carolina salute.
I don't
And I'm
remember
like,
that one. I
what?
mean, we did it in school.
I saw some people put their hand over their hearts. I go, no. That's for the Pledge of Allegiance. The North Carolina allegiance, I'm going to look it up. You shouldn't, but then I looked and people were holding their hand out, their palms up and their arms out. And I'm like, what? And let's look that one up. Because I was
Miss
like,
Morgan taught us that in 2nd grade, but I don't remember it.
I'm just, like you said,
I salute the flag of North Carolina and pledge to the old North State love, loyalty, and faith.
right.
Yeah.
This was adopted in the General Assembly in
That's
2007.
not really a pledge of allegiance. That's just, I salute
Yeah,
the flag of North Carolina and pledge to the Illinois state.
Right. Well, this
Love,
is what it's
loyalty, and
saying.
faith.
The official pledge of allegiance to the North Carolina flag.
Mhm.
I don't consider that a pledge of allegiance. Do you?
No, well, what I'm reading here is that they call it the official salute to the North Carolina
Right.
flag.
Well, here it's saying, yeah, up there is saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Down
Mhm.
here it's saying the official salute to the flag. But what is the significance of holding your arm out,
I
your
want some money,
facing
honey.
up? Mhm.
That's
What is
it.
that significance?
Isn't that what it means? I want some money, honey.
I need your money.
Let me see. It was adopted by the General Assembly in
Yeah, the
2007.
General Assembly, that would be the ones who adopted it, the people who tax us to death.
Oh, here we go. And is used to express respect and loyalty to the state. It is the 17th state to adopt an official flag pledge
What took us so long?
or salute following a similar practice by various political groups and women's clubs for many years. Okay.
This pledge was officially adopted in May of 2007.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the State Salute to the North Carolina flag.
That is the first time Saturday that I have ever done that. I didn't even know.
But yeah,
I didn't even know.
But it's been
I don't
written on
remember
there.
that. I don't remember that from school.
I don't remember.
I remember
Well, he
Miss
wasn't
Morgan.
there in school when
Oh,
you
that's
were in
right.
school. 2007.
I graduated before.
Well, you must have been
Miss
really
Morgan-
stupid to wait that long
That's
to
well,
graduate.
you just said
Yeah,
you're
Miss Morgan showed us, and it wasn't
the
official.
North Carolina?
Yeah, it said
Well, it
North
wasn't
Carolina.
official.
But she was standing up and said, but no, I don't remember it. I mean, I remember her saying it, talking about the North Carolina flag. There was some kind of a pledge to it that she did.
The bill to adopt the official state salute was introduced by Senator Katie Dorset of Guilford County,
Okay.
and it was passed
Great.
unanimously in the House and the Senate. And that was, I gather, 2007.
Do all kids in school have to recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States
I don't know what to
flag?
do anymore. No, we did.
No,
They don't have to.
No.
They don't have to. They've way back when they came up with they don't have to. We got a lot of people that are not from this country originally, and they have not recognized they're not citizens.
that's right. Well, you have.
I mean, we've got foreign students. Let's go to DC area. You got foreign kids going to school here, just like we got foreign kids
That's right.
in other countries whose parents are working in other countries going to those schools. They should not have to recite the Pledge of Allegiance to that flag. They should stand in respect.
Yeah.
Period. Bottom line, that's it. And those in the United States who take a knee, I'm going to tell you what they need to have done.
They need a Tanya Harding as a friend.
Well, I got two Tanya Harding devices.
Well, you remember what grade were you in when they quit using the Bible in the class?
Oh God.
I remember we used to.
I remember what year. I mean, I don't the year. I remember what grade I was in because Miss Morgan got livid.
Mm.
I'm trying to remember if they ever did that. And I don't know.
I'm looking
it
I
up.
was probably out of school when that happened.
Okay, I was in second grade.
Well, what year were you in the second grade?
68,
Yeah, I was
67.
gone by
Yeah,
then.
we know. Back in 29. But
1929.
but you,
I'm the
yeah,
reason,
Miss
I'm the
Morgan,
reason we had a depression.
Miss Morgan stood up in class and she was she had her Bible. We did the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. And she would open up her Bible and she would read out of it. And then one morning she came in and we did the Pledge of Allegiance and she grabbed her Bible, says, class, I am no longer allowed to read you out of the Bible.
Right.
And we would say a prayer, which she'd say,
Oh,
she'd
yeah.
do the Lord's Prayer, but we
Absolutely.
weren't allowed to do that anymore.
Yep.
There was
She
a
That's what I
was
heard.
not.
there was a
Now,
lawsuit.
we got a little bit of time to
Yeah, go
create
ahead.
problems. What? You know that I am extremely loyal.
me too.
Sometimes to an extreme, perhaps, to the United States, to this country, to the people in this country. I took oaths to also verify,
Yes, you did.
affirm that I am that way.
Right.
And none of those oaths have ever expired, as I was pointed out to me by the district attorney of this district. He said, you took an oath. It's still in
It's
effect
there.
unless somebody took it away from you. The religious freedom. You got a classroom, and in this community, we got classes in school here of a variety of individuals from different faiths.
Yes.
We've got Muslims, we've got Buddhists. We've had Buddhists in schools here, in our schools here. At what point in time should they be required in a classroom to be subjected to our Bible? If we were in a classroom and there was a devout Muslim, which you assume that all Muslims are devout, and if you do, that brings up another problem. But if you just assume you have a devout Muslim, it's their faith. Should they read from Allah to
Out
the
loud?
classroom? Yeah, should they be allowed to read from Allah?
Well,
How about from the Quran? That's what I'm getting
I
at.
would,
Should they be allowed to read their Bible?
on an information standpoint, yeah. Because you and I are not Muslims,
Yeah.
but they may read something. I mean, you've not read. Have you read the Quran? Because I have not. I have not read it.
Yeah.
But they may say something that I don't know, and I like information,
Mhm.
and I would listen.
Mhm.
Whether I believed it or not, I would at least listen. So I wouldn't have a problem with it. But they shouldn't have a problem with me reading out of the New Testament either.
Mhm.
And that's what this country, one of the things this country was founded on was freedom of religion,
And freedom from religion.
freedom from religion. Exactly. That's why most people don't have church on Saturday. They have it on Sunday.
Mhm.
Used to, church was on Saturday. And they raised horses in colonial times on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
It has been a long fought, long debated controversy over prayer school. And I
Yeah.
know in North Carolina, under their general statutes, it says a period of silence not to exceed 1 minute in duration shall be observed and silence maintained for people to pray as they wish quietly. So, and all this came about in 1962. It was a U.S. Supreme Court case that was in Engel versus Vitale, where it was a landmark United States Supreme Court case in which a court ruled that it is unconstitutional for state officials to compose official school prayer or encourage its recitation in public schools. And it goes on to actually having the moment where you say, we're all going to say a prayer openly together. It covers all that. But North Carolina did make a provision in our general statutes that students, teachers, school staff are allowed 1 minute of silence
Silent prayer.
to pray as they wish for silent prayer. So,
Well, it's like
Right.
when I did.
On exam day, it could be 2 minutes, right?
Right.
I'm not finished praying yet.
But it's like I used to do my shows. I
Right.
would do the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would stand up and I said, "Now, folks, we would like to do the Lord's Prayer. And for those of you who don't believe, would you please be respectful for us who do believe?" And then we would do it. And
But the only problem with that is you're singling people out.
for those, yeah, I mean, it's up to you
For
whether
you,
you want to
okay.
do it or not. And some did it, some didn't.
Right, right. I mean, I understand completely what you're saying, but one could argue that they were
But,
being
yeah.
made to feel singled out.
No, well, I mean, you didn't have to say
Unfortunately, that's the
anything.
world we've gotten into
Right.
nowadays.
But you didn't have to say anything if you didn't
Right.
want to. And I
People are
understand
singled out every day.
every day.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's gotten worse.
Because I'm an individualist anyway. I believe
Mhm.
I look. I don't like a union. I don't like I'm not an organized religious person. I'm not
No.
Baptist, Methodist. I'm non-denominated. I have my own beliefs. I've read the Bible. I've read the Living Bible, the King James Version. I've read other Bible International. And I like to read the Old Testament for history. I really, because I enjoy history. And I would read things and stuff like that. But I like information like that. I really do. But it's just I was asked the other day about union. I said and here's the way I put it, and people argue about it all the time. North Carolina is the right to work, hire and fire state.
Yep.
You can be fired for no reason.
That's right.
You can be hired for no reason.
Yep. As long as you are not hired or fired because of race,
Right.
sex, or lack of.
But we were talking about, somebody said something about union. I said, and I just put it simply. I said, I just don't want to pay somebody to let me work. And I just walked off when I said it. And I got the look, what? I said, think about it. You're paying union dues and you're paying this. You have federal labor laws now. You have state labor laws now. And all companies have to follow that.
Yep.
And I said, so you're pretty much kind of protected. But in North Carolina, he can let you go.
And then you got OSHA.
And then you got OSHA, and then you got MSHA, and you got the U.S. Department of Labor.
Yeah. So the worker is generally covered pretty
Yes.
well, as much as a worker can be
But
covered
then you
by
fight
the
for
law.
your wage. Yeah,
But as far as being terminated,
Yeah.
they can be terminated.
you can be terminated.
I mean, I own a business
Mm-hmm.
or I manage a department for the people who own the business and they want me to do it a certain way.
Right.
Then I do it a certain way. And if they don't like, and this was in that industry that I was in, holy moly,
Yeah, I bet so.
just because I don't like the way he talks.
Oh, yeah.
And this is coming from a non-broadcaster from another state, it comes in and takes over and they tell you need to get rid of him because I just don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he sounds. He acts as though he's putting on. And you could fire a guy because of his hair.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you could ever fire a woman because of her hair, because that would have been a civil rights violation, I'm sure.
Oh, in more ways than one.
But seriously, if they did not comply, you can fire them.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Don't like their shoes? Gone.
Well, I've worked on both sides of the coin when it comes to union. I've
Yeah.
been a union leader,
Yeah.
and then when I went into management, I was
You were
who the union leaders came to
Right.
for
Yeah.
grievances
you're right.
and stuff. So
And I don't.
pros and cons, both sides.
There is.
Pros and cons.
I mean, I'll give you an example. Weyerhaeuser, right down here, the plywood mill.
Right.
I worked at Weyerhaeuser. They had a union in there, the IW of A. And I'll tell you how smart that scrap was. They bought a piece of property on Ramsey Road to build a union hall. They went in there, it wouldn't even perk. They couldn't build a union hall. Now the stipulation in the
You could get
contract,
an outhouse.
huh?
You could get an outhouse. I want to
Yeah.
Go on.
But
The rest of
they
us
couldn't
do.
build a union hall. So when Weyerhaeuser shut down, the union was dissolved. There was
Right.
there was a clause in that contract.
Uh-oh.
It could go back to the original owner.
The hall
Now
that they,
you can. They never built it. It just stayed with it. Now I can ride right by that piece of property right now, and there's a little strip mall on it,
I know right where you're talking about.
and that was where the
Mhm.
union hall was supposed to be.
Right. I know right where
And
you're
what
talking
were
about.
y'all thinking of? And I did
Well-
join the union. And the reason I joined the union was to keep from striking. My vote is because they want to strike. I vote not to strike. Let's keep working. We'll work it out.
Let me tell you the extremes at union, the international workers, electrical, whatever they are.
Yeah.
We had a team. I had sent a team up to DC, a reporter and a photographer, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could not set up the lights, the two lights they were going to do interviews with at the location. They were going to do interviews. Two stand lights. They had to hire, we had to pay for a union guy to come over to plug the lights in to the wall.
Oh, yes.
Seriously,
yeah.
that's the way it was. That's the reason that suddenly you don't see those lights set up anymore.
Mm-mm.
You know what you see? You see lights mounted on cameras.
Right.
Quite often you don't see tripods set up because they had rules against that, setting up tripods. You see a guy holding the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Now my job.
That's the reason
is-
all of that
right.
became as it is.
Well, I don't knock the union. Union started out was a good thing.
Right.
For the safety
They-
of and the welfare
but
of and
they
the future
kind of-
development of and to
Right.
protect the workers.
But years later, they went over. They started going way overboard. Way overboard. So, and that's what hurt.
You've been to the shipyard, so you know the ports and stuff. You know how ridiculous some of those things are, don't
Oh
you?
yeah. I mean, I've been in it. In fact, when warehouse was shut down, I moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and I was a millwright right up here. I paid millwright. Went down there. There's mills down there, and I walked in and says, "Yeah, I'd like to apply to go to work. What union are you in?" Well, I was in IWA. We ain't never heard of that. So you want to get a job here.
International Workers of America.
Yeah. And they say, well, you need $2,500 to join the union. And I said, son, if I had $2,500, I'd be fishing. You know. And that's the way you got it.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't. So I said, well, I'll be a helper. Well, no, you get on the list. You're number 689. Do you know anybody? No. Just came here. Won't never see you again.
It's like I said, unions have their good things and their.
They did. I mean, they had
At
some.
the post office, you were talking about different jobs for different people. Say a carrier left a tray of mail behind, and if the supervisor took it out to them, the union would file a grievance because the supervisors were doing carrier work. And I'm like, okay, well, see me in my office when you get back and for your letter of
grievance.
Grievance for the letter warning that I'm going to give you for leaving your mail behind. I mean, usually we always worked it, but it's little things like that. It's ridiculous. I saw the post office pay out so much money.
Extremists in anything.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous state of affairs.
Well, I will say that through the years, we gained a better relationship to where we all helped each other, and people weren't out there trying to file a grievance and get time and a half.
There's somebody in the woodpile out there just waiting to do exactly that.
Like you're on the overtime list, and you're off a day that I need you to come in. So you're next in line. I call you. You won't answer the phone. So I go to the next person on the list. And then you come in the next day and want to file a grievance and get paid 2.5 times of what you would have gotten paid had you come in because you weren't called next.
Money grubbers.
Yeah.
I saw so much waste. And like I said, there are some very good things that a union does and helps protect people who need to be protected. But I saw so much waste. So much
you
money
take the
out
Teamsters
window.
Union.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I don't know. There's probably more. The only two that I know of left
Right.
is America's Best Freight, the green freight trucks, and USF Holland. If you see a USF Holland, they were union. Now, your Consolidated Freights, your Hennis, your Ennis, your all those other Carolina Freight, they were the first. I remember they were the first union company to fall. Right now, the last one was Yellow Freight Roadway, and they were claiming it was bad. They failed. But when you fall out and you don't pay union dues no more, what happens?
And if you don't join the union, some of those like you have clerks and then you have city carriers. And if you're a city carrier and you don't join the union, they treat you as a scab.
Yeah, exactly.
Pros and cons.
Okay, we're going to be going. They got a mess in Virginia. I think we need to actually move that to north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Is that anything to do with the gerrymandering?
Everything.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because some of our callers were so much about giving the Republicans a hard time. Let's talk about what the Democrats are doing. Same thing.
Both sides do it.
Both sides do it. That's right.
We will be back tomorrow. Timmy, thanks for coming in, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Thank you for breakfast.
And thanks
You're
for
welcome. Well,
I
pay to come in.
and thanks for that. Did he make sure I got that particular one? I'm gonna check this bag for Mark.
No,
I want y'all to turn around and look at who over there on the couch.
Yes.
Well, when you go to May 6th.
Look over there look at the critter on the couch for a second.
He's on his favorite jacket.
I wiggle the paper right there.
That's what Junior is.
Right up.
That boy can hear a paper being rattled from 500 yards.
Poor Belle, she's 17 years old. If I grab the chip bag, she comes alive. Here it is.
He can go in and go to bed. Robbie's in bed. He goes in, he gets bed. And I will get up and I'll sneak in and I will grab some chips.
Yes.
I'll open the refrigerator door. I got a buddy right there.
Yes, sir.
Just in
Mine can be
case.
sound asleep and I sneak off the
Amazing.
couch. I come all the way around the other way to the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm barefoot. I'm tiptoeing. I quietly open the refrigerator door. I just want a piece of bread, something to
It
quench the
doesn't
hunger.
matter.
Yeah.
Take out a piece of bread, put
I'm
it
here,
back
Mama.
in there.
What's up?
Shut the door, look down there. They all are.
Yeah. What you got? What you got? Now the two cats are waiting on me now.
Oh, the cat
It's
knows
hilarious.
when I feed the dogs. He can be outside. He knows when it's time.
Oh, yeah.
He'll hear the rattle of dishes. Here comes the cat.
All right, guys,
Yep.
we're talking pets and
We love
critters and
our
all that
pets.
sort of good stuff. We got Chris Miller tomorrow,
Yes.
Jacksonville Daily News sports editor
Yes.
extraordinaire. We'll find out
Absolutely.
what's coming out there and
Yeah.
how bad the injuries are going to be this year when the poor Cardinals
A
and
new coach at Dixon, too.
oh right.
We're going to talk about that.
I understand that new coach at Dixon wants to do away with helmets.
Oh, boy.
That's the word on the street. I read it on the internet. It's got to be true.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And we're going to discuss what the DWI stuff about. Oh, you're live and local, real talk, where we're awake, not smart, but we'll be naked on May 2nd. So tune in for it. The show will be naked on the second day of May. Got it?
I sure will. Try
Good night,
to.
Fred.
Mm-hmm.
All right, goodbye, everybody. We'll see you in the
Fred?
morning.
Who's Fred?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Gracie.
Yeah.
You're live and
Gracie.
local.
That's what I was trying to think of. Good night, Gracie.
Where's Fred coming into play?
Yeah.
I
His
don't
name
know.
was
Just
George.
anything to get you to say bye.
You're live and local, real talk.
We're awake and never
not
woke.
woke. Good night. Goodbye. See ya.